Peace, family. You coolin' with
Yo,
the
yo.
Completist and my brother Spawn Prince. And we gonna talk about a few things tonight. We gonna do our recommendations like we do at the end of the show every time. But we're gonna talk about the What If series on Disney Plus. And we're gonna give a little bit of insight on, or sorry, a review on the film Venom, but there won't be any. It won't be that much detail to it. But we gonna still give it to you. You know what I'm saying? I really don't give a fuck. It came out last Thursday.
You already know I
It's
don't
been
give a damn.
right. It's been a week. Y'all
Y'all
had
should have
y'all
saw it before
time.
y'all had y'all chance.
Right. Y'all had y'all chance to see it.
I don't want to hear none of them
I'm,
excuses. I don't want to hear nothing about nobody having had to go to work. I don't want to
right.
care about nobody prayer sessions
Exactly.
and having had to take kids nowhere. I don't care about none of
Exactly.
that. I don't care about none
Exactly.
of that. It's 12 hours in a day. Y'all should have made time.
Right. Like I mean, it's just like this. We are. I mean, if you haven't seen the Venom movie, it's probably best that you don't watch this episode. I would love for you to be here, but if you haven't seen it, we're going to be discussing. So, yeah, and I want to talk about a few like comic book news as well, and things of that nature. But
um,
yeah,
with that being said, there are. I'm gonna go ahead and start with some news then, since we're gonna jump in on some news.
definitely.
Um, Image. Um, I did put in my orders for recommended reads, which was Bitter Roots and Excellence. They are on back order because they are sold out, ladies and gentlemen. So they are on back order. So we're waiting on those, as well as people that are trying to collect Department of Truth and Stray Dogs. Them four titles are on back order. As far as trades and individual issues, especially the individuals for Bitter Roots,
Yeah.
Stray Dogs, and Department of Truth. So if you're an image collector, you're looking for any of those three titles, not Excellence. Excellence still got some individuals still floating around out there, but the trade is on back order as well as some of the other books. Um, Going into some upcoming stuff, we do have my four recommended upcoming titles. October 26th, we are getting DC Universe versus Vampires. It is a 12-book miniseries. Um, I personally don't know anything about it or what's going on. Is written by Tom Taylor, who you all know is the writer of Deceased and Dark Age. Um, then November 2nd, we got Dark Knight of Steel, which I believe is a 6-book miniseries, but I'm not sure. But then going from there, I think that is also written by Tom Taylor. The Dark Knight of Steel, that is also a Tom Taylor book. Then we go into Swamp Thing, Green Hell, which is coming out December 28th, my mother's birthday. And then we get Devil's Reign, Marvel. I'm not a big Daredevil guy, by no means. But that Devil's Reign, December 1st, Marvel event. I haven't really wanted to read a Marvel event like this since probably Civil War and King in Black, which were my two favorites. Um,
You talking about Dark Ages, right?
yeah, no, Devil's Reign. It's like a Daredevil event going on where
Okay, okay.
Kingpin.
Got you.
Yeah, Kingpin is like, I guess he's either president or mayor. He's somebody big in the politic world, and he just got it out for everybody in New York, basically. He just got it out for everybody in New York. So that's the comic news that I wanted to hit everybody with. Those are my four recommended titles to be looking out for as far as upcoming stuff later this month, and then going in towards getting closer towards the end of the year. um, you got
Well,
anything
for
you want
me,
to add?
yeah, for me, um, I have we've been talking about new comics issues. I've been on Valiant Comics. I've been on their. They have a new run going on for Shadow Man. It dropped about a month and a half ago, if that. And
Okay.
they and yes, this is a decent series, because this is for really for Valiant fans. Because I know a lot of people aren't hip to Shadow Man and just the Valiant universe in general. You know, I it's just a good read, especially if you are a person that is looking for some like black content. You know what I'm saying? Like you want to see black face, a black hero. You know what I'm saying? Something of that nature. Um, I have also been keeping track of this Dark Ages. This I haven't collected. You know what I'm saying? Any of the issues yet, but I've been reading them. You know,
Ooh.
I, I listen. I love Spider Man, bro. I noticed you aren't the biggest fan of Peter Parker, but I'm a big fan of Peter.
And this the thing. Okay, let me add this in there real quick. Like, I'm not a big Superman fan. Like Clark Kent himself, I don't care for him. But I like Zod.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I like Hank Henshaw, Cyborg, Simple Man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I like Supergirl. I like her. You know what I'm saying? I like all of the kind of edgy ones that come after him.
Yeah.
And it's kind of the same, but it's not the same with Spider-Man, if that makes sense.
No, it's not.
I don't care for Peter Parker. I don't care for Ben Riley. I don't care for Kane. I didn't care for Gwen. I
Right.
really hate her.
Yeah,
I
I don't really care for
really hate
Gwen
her.
either.
I do like Miles. The little stuff that I've read of Miles, I do like Miles. Miles is straight, and I did like Superior to a small extent. I didn't
I
like how
like.
they
I
did it,
honestly
but
like
I
the
liked it.
multiversal Spider-Man better than
Like,
the actual. Right.
I don't know. I don't know what it is about Peter. I don't know what it is about him. It's for me. It's the big three. Because like when I tell people I'm a Batman fan, I'm not necessarily saying I'm a Batman fan as I will be. I'm one of those people who's like, oh well, Batman can beat anybody but Prep. No, I'm not that guy.
Right.
But I do love his stories. I love all like Long Halloween, Death in the Family, Death of a Family. I love his stories. I love the content that they give Batman. Bruce himself is just kind of like, whatever, whatever. I
Yeah.
love Damien. I
Yeah.
love Damien. You know what I'm saying? I love
Damien is the
Jason.
dopest character for
You know what I'm
real.
saying? I love Damien and Jason. I love them. Um, but I definitely liking Jace Fox right now in the I Am Batman, and I'm gonna come back to that. But I'm gonna go ahead and start us off like I always do. Um, this past Wednesday we picked up new books. I picked up that Thor 17, so I am now caught up on Donny Case's Thor. If
That
y'all not
cover is
reading
dope.
that, if y'all ain't reading Donny Case's Thor, man, I don't know. I don't know what y'all doing. Um, I'm not gonna spoil anything for y'all. I'm pretty sure there's a
Look,
good amount of people reading this, but
since you got to get
yes,
your little, you know what I'm saying, since you to get your little, um, talk on about how your dislikes, but you like them at the same time. I used to hate Thor. I used to hate him. I used to think he was so corny.
we right there together.
Yeah,
We right there together.
until I read him. As a matter of fact, is when I read him fight Mangog. This was in the Silver Age joint. So, and I got it too. And
For
when I
me,
read that, I was like, okay, I can dig the story writing a little bit, but then it started getting a little boring. Um, with the little
oh,
Silver Age.
hold
It's
on, hold on.
oh okay. So he having some technical difficulties. Hold on 1 second, family.
And I'm back.
Got you. Yeah, so it got boring. You know what I'm saying? It got boring in the Silver Age, so I kind of like grazed through the stories a little bit. And
Thor
then I
was
started getting
definitely
to
he was definitely a
Thor, and
boring
then
character for me. He
yeah,
was definitely a
Thor, and then
boring character.
worthy. I mean, unworthy Thor, and you know,
It was around Unworthy and King, Unworthy Thor or King Thor. One of those newer modern age series was around the
yeah,
time that I started enjoying him, and it was no, actually, it was what is it called? Fear Itself.
yeah.
When
Oh yeah,
all the other hammers came,
with
and
Serpent, and yeah, with Serpent.
Juggernaut had a hammer, Hulk had a hammer. I think it was Hulk, but I know Juggernaut had one. When
Everybody had a Asgardian
had
weapon.
hammers and stuff, I was like, I like this. I liked that story. A lot of people didn't like Fear Itself, but I liked
I
it. I ain't gonna
enjoyed
say
it.
it's a top five or nothing like that, but I enjoyed it.
Nah, right. I enjoyed it definitely. I
Um,
mean,
so
because at the end of the day, that's when Iron Man, you know what I'm saying, he got his, Odin gave him his respect. You know what I'm
hmm
saying? Like, man, you a human and you just, you created this armor? What? Oh,
hmm
okay. You got a permanent invitation to Asgard,
you
brother.
got a permanent boy. hmm
Like, it was a decent story, though. And it was a story that, had the world on its heels. Like, damn, the world can end. You know what I'm saying? Fucking with this
I feel
motherfucker.
like a lot of people don't care for it because it was coming off that back burner of Secret Invasions where everybody was a scroll and all of it. That
Yeah.
event was just so long and drawn out
Mm-hmm.
that by the time we got to the very next Marvel event, it was kind of like we don't care. You know, it was like people
Understood.
genuinely just didn't care about it. Um, so going into the next new comic that I picked up, of course, y'all know I'm reading it. Dark Ages #2
Man, that
dropped this
cover is
past
so great.
Wednesday. You know,
That cover is so
um,
great. I was looking at that shit like, man, whoever drew that shit, man, they are dope for real.
um, if you're not reading Dark Ages, we're 2 books in. I'm not gonna give spoilers because we're only 2 books in, but go read it. It's like
Hey,
I said, it's Tom Taylor, and he's doing a fantastic job with these miniseries that he keeps putting out. If y'all read anything over from him over in DC, he's the writer and creator of the DCs, where it was like the DC zombies basically. Check that out, read it. This is worth it.
and
This
if
is
y'all
this is
didn't hear
worth
what
it.
he said, he was talking about Tom Taylor wrote DC's Deceased series.
hmm
That's what he was referring to.
I picked up a
I kind of feel
Walmart.
like Apocalypse and Thanos is gonna end up fighting.
I would love to see Apocalypse fight another big dog. He a big
Right,
dog
dog?
himself, but they don't ever treat him as such. You know, it's like I would love to see
Who?
that. He basically
Who?
immortal. You know, so,
Basically the
um,
same, not same, but like the same caliber. That'll be a great fight.
um, I picked up a Walmart exclusive, which is the #1 100-page comic giant size Swamp Thing
100 page.
from Walmart.
That's man. You make me
Uh,
want to go up in Walmart, man. I swear I never go in Walmart.
so that's another one. I picked up I picked up the Amazing Spider-Man Curse of the Man Thing, and y'all know I only picked it up because Man Thing is in it.
Dope. I haven't read
Um,
that one.
that's the only reason I grabbed it.
I
50
gotta
years of
look
Man
into
Thing
that.
up there. So yeah, and then I'm switch it over, save my goods for last. I picked up this huge stack for basically nothing, but it's a bunch of little keys in here. Well, it's actually one key. Yeah, one key. But I picked up this Marvel Superheroes that's a Moon Knight spring special. I thought it was sweet. I'm really digging Moon Knight. Plus, it was a cover that had Brother Voodoo on there, Hercules, and Black Panther, and it
Shit.
was just like it's lit. And I was like, yo,
Damn.
I've never seen this book until I picked it up, so I was like, yeah, why not? I picked up the key issue that I was missing from a part of my Thanos collection, which is what if Silver Surfer possessed the Infinity Gauntlet? I talked about this a couple of weeks ago. I said that I was gonna have it. I wound up picking it up.
Got it.
I picked up what is a the first print. Y'all know I'm a first print guy. I picked up a first print Immortal Hulk 6 because I had, like I said, I have a variant of it, so I'm looking to get past that. And then I picked up that entire 2006 run of David Finch's Moon Knight. So this is the whole 1 through 30. I'm gonna just show y'all a few covers, but it is a total of 30 books for the whole Moon Knight series.
My man, since we have started this show, we have showed you probably about 10 different series collected by the both of us together.
So this is all the entire Moon Knight series.
But you got like 7 or 6 or 7 collected by yourself. In just a week, like I'm upset because I would have like we need to go through our whole stacks and like go through our stacks and show people now because I just feel like this nigga just came up on this nigga that came up.
I be hunting, man. I be hunting. I'm gonna switch over to some manga for you people because yes, I do read manga.
Manga is great.
So I picked up number 12 of Jujutsu Kaisen.
Good
yes,
shit.
I am reading it. I am not watching it. I have not watched it. I don't plan to probably watch it until after maybe the series, the anime is done. Whichever one finishes first. If the anime finishes first, then I'm gonna still read it. If this finishes first, then I'll go over there and start watching it.
I only read chapters read up to chapter 6, so yeah, you don't got farther than I have.
I picked up Chainsaw Man 7.
That's a great series, man.
I love this series.
It is a great series.
I have no regrets about dropping
Chainsaw
this.
Man.
I dropped, and here's the thing, people. By no means, One Punch. I love One Punch Man, but I dropped One Punch Man for this series, and I have no regrets about it. They're both just as equally good. And they're both as equally entertaining.
One Punch Man has been out longer. I mean, you can give it a break. It's almost at its end, so you can do that.
Then I picked up one of the goats. One of the goats. Number 2, The Fist of the North Star.
Oh, my nigga got the goat
Hardcover.
Fist of the North Star number 2.
Yes. Yeah, no,
I love that cover. I love that.
I had to get it. If y'all know me, y'all know that this is my favorite manga and anime of all time. I love the original One Punch Man. Your boy Kenshiro in there doing his manliness.
It's a great series, man. If you love action, you know what I'm saying. Back in the 80s, bro, it just was a few scenes that was just so gutter, so brutal, and just so gory. You know what I mean? You just had to love it. What is this?
I feel like Peter. Then on the back it says, "Ordinary life. Ordinary life is no longer an option. This is an amazing fantasy." And I'll open it up. On the inside, it is called, for everybody to know, That THAT SpiderManBooth.com. They have scheduled like live events on both YouTube and Instagram where you can buy, sell, and trade comics. Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. Each one is from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. And they have a great selection. I've been a long time viewer and like shopper with them guys over there at the Spider-Man booth. So they was nice enough to pack my care package for this month with some books. Some that I have, so I have some doubles, but some that I don't. Um, I'm okay with that. But this is a Spawn 311. I don't have it. It
Man,
is
them
a.
guns, that gunslinger
You don't
spawn.
get better than this cover, man. You got Spawn, you got Gunslinger, and you got King on there.
Right.
You don't get too much better than that.
Whoever the
Then
hell fighting them is in
I
trouble.
do have this one, but I'll take another one. This is Gunslinger. I did not have a first print of this one.
Mm.
No spoilers for my boy Plague Spawn. No spoilers for the villain. If you're not reading Spawn, go check out that issue and read about it. 314. I have this one. But I did not have this one, which is the one. This is the one that made the entire box worth it. I love this cover with the sword and him sitting there with the halo over his head.
Yeah,
It
that
was
shit look
amazing.
dope.
Like you sitting in on your throne. You got your halo. I don't have this 315, and I don't have this 315. I don't have this 316. I do have this 316. And then last but not least, this 316 with Redeemer on the front.
That cover look crazy.
Man. So again, people, that Spider-Man booth is definitely a nice place to get some books from. Then last but not least, my last book to show y'all. One book. First, I'm going to show y'all this one again that I showed y'all a couple weeks ago, which was the second appearance of Abomination, Silver Age Hulk and Submariner. I love the Silver Age or Bronze Age Hulk. That was when he was more savage, more brute, and I really
Yeah.
love it. So
He
going from
definitely was
there,
more brutish back then.
I told you guys I can't be on a show called The Completionist and not complete it by picking up first appearance of Abomination. And
What?
this came in great condition. But this is the
So
first appearance and origins of Abomination when Bronsky did the whole transformation and everything in the book. I've already read it, but yes.
crazy.
Submariner and Hawk, Tales to Astonish, issue 90 and issue
So
91.
Abomination's first appearance. I didn't even know this. So Abomination's first appearance was in Submariner and Hulk crossover.
It's actually not a crossover.
Not crossover, but you know what
Tales
I'm
to
saying.
Astonish is just two stories. The first half of the book is a Submariner story, and the second half of the
Oh,
book
okay.
is a Hawk story.
Got you, got
They
you.
did a few. They did a few books like that back in the day. Tales to Astonish was Hawk and Submariner. Tales of Suspense was Captain America and Iron Man. Strange Tales was Doctor Strange. So when this series ended, this series goes from issues 1 through 101. And after 101, it picked off where Submariner got his own book, and then Incredible Hulk got his own book.
Okay.
And that's how it went, man.
Got
But a lot of Hulk's key villains, yes, made an appearance in Tales to Astonish. Uh, Leader makes an appearance in Tales to Astonish. A lot of Submariners guys too. Tiger Shark, Kotuma, they all make appearance until I think actually the only Hawk villain that made his appearance in another book was Exorbitant Man, who appears in a Thor book, Journey into the Mysterious, which was his first appearance. And
okay.
yeah,
Hey.
and then a lot of other people appears in The Defenders. For a lot of people that don't know, the original Defenders was Hulk, Silver Surfer, Namor, and Doctor Strange. Was the four original Defenders. Um, and as I'm telling you that, I thought to myself because I put that on my list to collect. Like I'm gonna collect some Silver Age Defenders because when I thought of that on paper, I'm like, this team sounds way
Yeah,
better than the Avengers.
yeah.
Like
Sounds crazy powerful
sound a
for
little too strong when you really think about it. It sounds too strong. It sounds like the team is too powerful. Namor,
Hulk,
Hulk,
Namor, Strange,
Silver Surfer, and Strange, Silver Age Strange.
right,
It
and
sounds too
Silver
powerful.
Surfer. Yeah,
Yeah,
Silver. Yeah,
it just
that's
sounds.
crazy.
It sounds the four of them together just sound like who they fighting. Like, who y'all got to fight against?
They
Because
got to be fighting somebody
The
planetary.
Avengers is like when I looked at the Avengers, like Wasp and Giant Man, the Silver Age Avengers, it's like I'm not as strong as this team over here. So yeah, that is my haul for the week, manga included.
Okay. Um. Well, I have one now I wanted to discuss. I don't know how many Star Wars fans that we have that are watching or will be watching this show, but High Star Wars High Republic is a comic book issue that has been out since I believe since the beginning of the year. Since and we're on issue 9 right now.
Mm.
And and besides the Darth Vader comic book that dropped in 2018 and
Was
ended
that
last,
Vader down?
huh?
Or was that Vader down, or was that just the one that was just called Vader?
That was just the one called Vader, Darth
Okay.
Vader. That was just that one. That has been and the Bounty Hunter the Star Wars Bounty Hunter series. Those have been the best Star Wars comics that I've read in a while. And
There's two
High
bounty
Republic,
hunters.
the
There's bounty
one
hunter,
with
regular
the
bounty
one
hunters,
with
and then bounty hunter wars.
yeah, the Bounty Hunter Wars, not the one with that's the one. It's focused on I forgot his name. The dude that's a cyborg.
Right, that's one. Yeah, he on the cover
Yeah.
of issue 1 of Bounty Hunter. But I know they tie into each other or are they separate books.
Yeah, they tie into each other. This is basically the
Okay.
same story. They just show basically all the bounty hunters for real in the Star Wars universe and a lot of the guilds and shit like that.
Okay.
But yeah, and plus High Republic is um, the main character is black, black woman. So, and the things that she has overcome, has been really impressive, if I may say so myself. Especially for a Padawan, because she's not even a Jedi Master yet.
Who's her is her master in the book?
Her master is I forgot their race's name, but they're one of the lizard people.
Okay.
He's like a lizard man or something like that, but he's a Jedi Master though. And there was a part of the story where basically he had got this type of virus, and it was basically a planetary, not a planetary virus, but like a cosmic virus that was going to different planets and shit like that. But he had got the virus, so it was like connected to him. So and he was fighting his Padawan and her team and shit. You know what I'm saying? And it was like a crazy ass fight. But and one thing that you learn from these Jedi's and shit like that, a lot of them are durable as fuck. You know what I'm saying? Even if you're talking about a human Jedi, bro. Like, I don't know if I think that they have to, like, expound on Jedi training a little bit more. Because I don't think that people really get, you know what I'm saying, the respect that these motherfuckers deserve. You feel me? Like, they really are, like, formidable.
I'm not by no means am I a Jedi. I don't care for the Jedi's. I don't care for
Listen, I know a
nothing
few
about
people
them.
don't.
I like the Siths better. I'm not gonna sit up here and act like I have this mighty knowledge of Star Wars, and I don't. My knowledge on Blizzard's World of Warcraft and Diablo, I know more about those and those stories than I do Star Wars. I know more about Hobbit and Lord of the Rings than I do Star Wars. Um, but for what I do know about Star Wars, like I said, I'm a huge fan of the Old Republic. And I read those novels. What's the guy, General Thrawn? I think his name is.
Yeah, Thrawn.
Yeah, I plan on reading his novels. He seems like a very interesting character as well.
Yeah, he dope for real.
But yeah, I haven't even. I can't even tell you when the last time I read a Star Wars comic book. Like when it came to Star Wars, all I read was strictly the novels. Um, not too many of the comics. That Bounty Hunter Wars did look interesting though. Did.
And there's a lot of shit, you know what I'm saying, when Dune got a comic book series out. Matter of
From
fact,
that movie,
yeah.
what's it called? Dune. Okay.
Yeah, Dune got a comic book series out. Dritz got a comic book series out. Game of Thrones.
Listen, this the comic book has become the best format as far as reading in general. I did see this as far as school for my kids that they have a comic book format of How to Kill a Mockingbird.
Yes,
You know,
they
they have
do.
a comic book format for Pride and Prejudice. You know,
And Kendrick.
yep, they translated them into comic book format with some illustrations and everything in there because that if for some reason it's probably just easier for them to see that
And pay attention.
and pay attention to it and read it. You know,
Listen,
so
I try to tell people comic books is one reason why I love reading. Besides the fact that my mom made me do it as a punishment and write book reports, I used to read comic books a lot, and it made me like, and it made me want to read other things. You know what I'm
for
saying? It made
me,
me,
it
curious.
was a punishment for me as well. It wasn't a punishment for me. It was more so you're on punishment. So because you're
Yeah.
on punishment, you can't go outside, you can't take the game, and it's like
So you might
back
as
then for
well
me, it
read.
was like okay, read this Green Lantern, then, you know, check that out, you
Right,
know,
right,
see what's
right.
going on with that.
Exactly. But for me, it was Spider Man, the Ghost
And
Rider
then
back then.
as far as continuing to read, it was more so just wanting to continue the stories for me. It was like, I watched the Lord of the Rings, and from there it was like, well, what happens next? And there wasn't a next. There was a prequel, which was The Hobbit, and it was like, okay, well, I'm gonna go check that out. So I wanted to read that. Same with Star Wars. It was like, okay, well, what's up next? And they're like, oh, well, here's the Old Republic. All of this happened before these, and it was like, all right, well, I'm gonna go check those out. That's how I got into all my reading stuff.
Gotcha.
World of Warcraft, I played the game extremely heavy. I spent hours on there losing weight and acne. I was into World of Warcraft a little too deep, and I just wanted to know more of the lore. So I just started picking up the novels and comics of it because I wanted to know more of the lore and more of what was going on in certain stories. It's like, well, I'm playing the game, but why am I doing what I'm doing?
Right.
So that's what that was for me.
I feel you. But for me, yeah, that's what I've been on, man. I've been reading the Shadow Man, the new Shadow Man series from Valiant. I've been reading the Star Wars High Republic from Marvel, and I actually started that Something's Killing the Children. I'm
I
about
still
to.
ain't started that yet.
Yeah, I started that.
It was
So
between that, Stray Dogs, and Department of Truth as far as which one I wanted to start it. Of course, I also, like I said, I back ordered Bitter Roots and Excellence. So I got a few things that I got to read and catch up on. One that I did read that I don't collect here is a Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man, Sinister Wars. Um,
yeah,
Everybody told me to check it out,
yeah, I'm gonna have to check that. I'm gonna have to check it out too.
and it
Like I'm
was the
gonna have to
backlash
finish
from
it. I
my
only read
posts.
one.
It
I
was
only
my
read the
backlash.
one issue.
I've read, I think it's 3 of them out right now. I've read all 3, but it was backlash from my post, and it was as a Batman guy, I made that post, and I said, realistically, let's be honest, that if Batman and Spider-Man switch role galleries, Batman will be out of there.
Yeah, he'll
You
be
know
out
what
of
I'm
here.
saying? He'll be out of there. I'm just being honest with you. Like
He'll be out
the
of here.
difference between them is his villains, Batman's villains. I don't feel like they're actually trying to kill him anymore. They're not really trying to kill him. Spider-Man villains, they trying to take him out. They want
Yeah,
him dead.
because they're trying to get him out of here.
They trying to get him out of there. So that's the
Interesting
difference.
topic,
Like,
sir.
Lizard, people tell me, oh, with Lizard and Croc, different conversation. Sandman and Clayface, different conversations.
Different conversation.
Joker and Hobgoblin, Green Goblin, whichever one you want, different conversation. Venom, Carnage, different conversations.
Yeah, Goblin be trying to take
Doc Ock,
Parker's head out.
different conversations.
Yeah, he be trying to take his head off.
Parker's. And here's my thing. If it was not, and this is being honest, if it was not for his agility and spider sense, he would not be able to deal with what he has to deal with those villains. He need them two things. He need both of them things. His strength is one thing. He is strong, but he need that agility. And he need that spider sense.
Yeah, because a lot of these motherfuckers got hacks and shit. So.
Even with his spider sense, he be catching it.
Exactly.
He be catching it.
Even with his spider sense, you ain't never lied.
He be catching it. Craven. I ain't gonna tell y'all.
Craven is really that man for real.
I ain't gonna tell y'all how many times Craven laid hands on this man. Craven
that nigga that man captured Spidey and killed Spidey and tried to become Spidey, bro.
Craven got those Black Forces mentality.
Nigga said I killed every creature on this planet.
Craven
Spidey,
said
you about to be a part of my collection.
Killed every creature on the planet. He definitely got that Black Forces mentality. Same with Carnage.
You think Punisher would be able to fuck with Craven?
No.
Hey, I was thinking too, like, no, dog, I don't think so, bro. I'm sorry. I don't think a lot of motherfuckers could fuck with Craven.
I don't think Craven gonna stand in front of his girl and get shot. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like, and Craven getting range, even with Punisher's military training and hand-to-hand combat, it's like, no, Craven too strong. Craven too strong. Craven can fight with people like Winter Soldier and Black Panther.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, he a body frame. He a body frame. Yeah, he a body frame.
But out of all of those series, though, I don't know. I really recommend them all. Like I said, I don't really think that there is ever really a bad comic book. I mean, it could be a bad story, or bad illustration, but I've never really read a comic book that had both at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, everything that we are recommending and giving to y'all, we really they good. That it's good stuff. There's a series. If anybody has like a real like thing for mythology or comics or stories that are adapted from like theologies or theological stories and things like that, there's a story in it's actually a series. There's 3 series. It's called The God Damned. Now, The God Damned is a great series. I love it. You know what I'm saying? Especially because of the simple fact. I love it because of the fact that it's just helly brutal. And then in the beginning they give us Kane, you know what I'm saying? And he can't die. I'm sorry, this shit was funny. I was rolling the entire first story, bro. I was really laughing my ass off. He was having me dying. But it's just funny. Yeah, it's just funny watching a story from the Bible, you know what I'm saying, be turned into such a crazy, chaotic, just crazy ass story, bro.
People hated it.
Man, I enjoyed it.
They was because it was they took it from the Bible. It's like, oh, don't do that.
Man, listen, it kind of put a lot of shit into perspective because you have to think about the times we was in. You can't talk about curses and things like that until you put some of that into perspective and put yourself into that, situation. Like I'm sure there was people, I'm sure there was cannibals, and I'm sure there was people having sex with animals.
By far.
Right? You feel what I'm saying? I'm sure that shit was happening. So it's not really something you should take offense by. It's really just you gotta.
There is I got a recommended manga for y'all. There's an old manga. I must say maybe like 2002, 2003, somewhere around there. But it's called Shaman Warrior.
Shaman Warrior. Matter of fact, I think I saw that. I didn't read it though. I saw it when I was scrolling down on my app.
If you read anything like Lone Wolf and Cub, Blade and Immortal, if you ever played any of the Dynasty Warriors games with like Lu Bu and Guan Yu and all of them, think of the story as a mixture of all three of those. With a lot of action, high level action. I'm talking about you get like Fist of the North Star type level action with like Ninja Scroll mixed in with it, and of course it kind of gives me a early Record of Ragnarok type feel because you branch off into different characters. Like you get a actual like a hunter, you get a ninja, you get a samurai, you get somebody a different type of soldier or warrior from a different aspect of life. But if you like martial arts, and you like those hand-to-hand combat type series, that's definitely one I would suggest to picking up. I like the hand-to-hand combat series, but I actually personally just don't have the room. I'm not gonna lie. And the reason I say I don't have the room is just because Spawn takes up so much of my time.
I mean, you got your focus, bro.
Spawn and Spawn, Hellboy, and Hulk take up so much of my time. And Man Thing and Swamp Thing. Those are my five. Spawn, Hulk, Man Thing, Swamp Thing, and Hellboy. Those are my five. Moon Knight is just like a little side character. Jace Fox, I am Batman. That's just a little side thing. But when it come to my five, if I see Moon Knight and a Hulk, I'm gonna pick up the Hulk before I pick up the Moon Knight. And if I see Hulk, Hellboy, Moon Knight, and Batman, but I see one Spawn, I'm gonna pick up the Spawn before I pick up those. So that's just how it is for me.
I be so salty when I be going into the damn game exchange or half price bookstore or wherever I go, and I be seeing some of them comics, and I be like, man, y'all got gold in here, and you got it for fucking $2.50. You got it for $5. Give it here. And I just be thinking to myself like, y'all don't even know what y'all got.
$1. $1. All 30 books.
The disrespect. The disrespect.
$30. Half price.
I believe in I believe in the future. Comic books and graphic novels will be worth so much more in the future. You know what I'm saying? Because the simple fact it's a hot commodity now. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people
only go up now.
Right. Exactly. Like everybody is buying comics now. You know what I'm saying? Especially people who are new to this whole thing in the MCU. You know what I'm saying?
New to collecting comics and people that's only familiar with like the MCU or the DC universe, and they want to continue to learn about the character that they fell in love with. They saw him once on screen. Now they're like, I'm interested in this character. Let me go start reading the comics, and picking up the comics.
Yep.
It's it's definitely
kids
worth
and
it.
adults.
Yes.
Right. So both. It doesn't matter who it is. Both children and adults are doing it.
I hear great things over in IDW as far as Power Rangers and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I'm
Yes.
not reading either one of the series. Of course, Power Rangers has a series called Mighty Morphin. They have another one called Power Rangers, and then Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles have one called Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the original. And then you have Last Ronin, and you have TMNT. Those five books I hear
Power
doing great
Grid.
things.
That Morphin Grid was great.
Shattered Grid was another great one.
Shattered Grid, yeah, that shit
Shattered
was
Grid
straight.
was I love that one. I didn't read anything after that, but I hear that it hasn't gone down since then. I hear that it's just they keep rising. Like I'm hearing
Yeah.
like they getting ready like for a build up, I guess, with a war with all the different Rangers from different timelines.
Well, yeah.
So
Well, if you ain't gonna read either one of them, you need to at least read the crossover for Power Rangers and the Teenage Mutant
I
Ninja
did.
Turtles.
I did. Where
Yeah.
Shredder
Okay.
became the Green Ranger.
Yes. Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
I read it.
Okay.
Yes, yes. I
Yes.
could. I forgot what it
Devastation.
was. I was scrolling somewhere and they had a preview. They like, yeah, pre-order this exclusive cover of Power Rangers and Turtles, and it had the Turtles were the Rangers,
Uh huh.
and the teenagers they were like all just trained in martial arts, and Shredder was the Green Ranger. And I was like, what's up with this book? Let me go online and figure out what's going on here. And I read it online. I read that whole series online. So
It was definitely a decent story for real, and even the comic where Shredder went to hell, that was a good story as well. That was a good ass comic book too.
I'm interested in the Last Ronin. I haven't read any of it. I'm interested. I'm just waiting on trade because at this point it's
You
just
might
taking
as
way too
well,
long for me.
right? You
It's
might as
just taking
well.
way too long. So
Yeah,
I'm
they
just
are
waiting on
dropping
trade.
they are dropping every issue like every month, like once a
No,
month or
that's
some shit
they.
like
You gotta
that.
think about it. The first issue came out last year, and we're just
Oh
now
yeah,
getting.
they have been like like
It's been in like
postponing drops and
it's
shit.
been like
Yeah.
it was issue one, then it was like 7 months before we got issue two, and then we just got issue
Yeah, it's
three
only on
like a few
4.
months ago, and then now it's just now dropping four. Like four came out like 2 weeks ago. It's
Yeah,
like
it's
yeah,
only
and I
on
think
4.
it's only a 5 or 6 part book. So it's like I'm gonna just give me the trade at this point. Um, when it get down to stuff
Got you.
like that, it's like I'm gonna just wait on the trade. Same with Department of Truth. I'm gonna just grab the trade. Something is killing the children. I'm gonna just grab the trade. I'd rather just grab the trade of those hot books like that than try and hunt down those individuals because if they one they gonna be pricey, and I'm not about to let anybody take any kind of money away from Spawn. He has to be all my money has to be invested in him. I would be damned if I walk up and see a variant that I don't have or something like that and be pissed. Like I have I have 12 copies of Spawn number one. I have I have 18 copies of Spawn number nine, first Android. Okay. I have 17 copies of Spawn 100. I have like 10 copies of Spawn 150 and 10 copies of Spawn 200 and 300. I'm a hoarder when it comes to him. Like
Yeah,
I'm a
nah,
hoarder.
man, you a
And
true fan of Spawn.
And the sad part about it is the reason I was buying them like that is because I really was out and it was like the prices on them and stuff. It was like, do I have this? I don't know if I got this. I'm gonna just go ahead and put it in there just because I don't know I got it. And then I get home and be like, oh, I got five of this.
I got him right. I
I
got it.
got five of this. Okay, all right. I got five. So
Real shit.
um,
So we at the end of the show, man. So
this
what's your
Venom,
recommendation?
this Venom, ladies and gentlemen. If y'all haven't seen the Let There Be Carnage,
Yes.
um, I do my ratings of movies and TV shows and books on a scale of 1 to 5, one being the worst, five being the best. And Let There Be Carnage for Terry, the Spawn Prince, was a 2. It was a 2. I found myself falling asleep. I
I'll agree
found
with that.
myself being bored with it. Here's my thing. I got introduced to Venom in the 90s from the 90s cartoon Spider-Man.
Yeah,
And
most people did.
when I fell in love with the character, I fell in love with him because he was more like a darker, edgy, savage Spider-Man. And Carnage came later on in that same series, and Cassidy was basically the Joker and Hobgoblin, but without the planet. He just went. He just on go.
Right.
With that being said, the way they are portrayed in this movie, I don't care for it. And I understand that it's
Mm-hmm.
Sony or whatever, but it
Yeah,
ain't for
right.
me. Um, the relationship Brock has with Venom feels too much like Hulk from Avengers, where he's talking to him too damn much.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That I didn't see them doing that in the comics. I didn't see them doing that in the
Right.
TV show. It was like he's constantly having this conversation with Venom. And I get that they know Venom is a living organism. He's bonded with Eddie in there too, like whatever. But I mean, just
They
like with
basically his own person once
yeah,
they
like
tap
at this
in. They you know
at
what I'm
this
saying?
point, it's just like I hated this scene, and y'all seen it in the trailers where Venom basically shrinks back down. He leaves, and he like, oh, that's a red one. I'm not fighting a red one. That's not Venom. Venom doesn't do
Right,
that,
man.
you know. Um,
He don't shy
with
away from shit.
with Cassidy, Cassidy has never shown this high level of intelligence ever. He's a serial killer. That is what Cassidy did. When Cassidy in the comic book Maximum Carnage or his earlier appearances and what was it 361 Amazing Spider-Man, when Cassidy got the Carnage symbiote, we didn't see Cassidy no more because he didn't take the symbiote off. We
Right.
did not see Cassidy anymore.
We
He
didn't see him no
stayed.
more.
He stayed Carnage. He stayed wreaking Carnage. He stayed killing, and he did say, "And I am Carnage." That's how he referred to himself as. I'm Carnage. You know
He
that
referred
whole
to me as that.
we are Carnage. I was like, well, since when he started saying we? What is this? And then the whole listen, I don't want to get too deep into like spoiling the movie, but it was just like here's one for me. There's a scene in the movie where they're in a nightclub. And for me, it was like, what club is y'all in where it could be that loud and the symbiote not react?
Right.
What's going on here? What happened? The symbiote just don't care about the noise level no more, apparently. But we get close to the end and we got the big bell. Here's the bell tower
Right.
again. It's like,
Uh,
but that bothers you.
but that bothers.
You was just in the club on bumps. Didn't really mess with you, but now here we okay. And then we get the little credits where he now is part of the MCU. And it was like, for me, it's like, well, when did this take place? Was this Far From Home or is this No Way Home? What's up with this timeline going on here?
Nah.
Does Carnage come with him? Does Riot come with him? What so
Right.
is this another universe? Did this MCU universe just eat
They gotta
another
be
Earth?
man. Look, everything that you said, I was asking myself. My biggest gripe or my biggest problem with the film, the script was terrible.
Horrible.
The script was terrible.
Same
It
as the
was
first movie.
beyond trash.
Same as
Beyond
the
trash.
first movie.
The movie was funny. I laughed a lot.
Good CGI.
Yeah, you know, it was good action too. Like it was decent, but I kind of felt like there was too many pauses in the film. Too
So
many
you
like
they
you know
can
what I'm
shoot at
saying?
Carnage. They can shoot bullets at him, and he can open up holes so the bullets will pass through. But my thing is, you're bonded to Cassidy. So how that work? Like how does okay? Because I know that they can move their organs around. You know, the symbiote can do that, but it's like you done made actual holes for things to go strictly through you, and it's like you're bonded to a human.
They
Okay,
was just doing shit, man.
they just they just did some shit thinking this shit was gonna be sweet, and it was like it's not. It's really not. Y'all
It
hyped
could have
us up.
been, yeah, it could have been way better.
It could have been way better.
Like, but Sony, you know, Sony, man, they like to do what they want to do. You know,
Listen, putting
just like
Venom in the MCU is a good thing, but I'm just confused about how they did it to get him over there. Cause this is like I said, the MCU on Earth just eat that Earth? So do we get? Did they just eat the? Did that eat the Sony Earth? And Now all of that is that Sony Earth is now merged with that, or like what's the deal going on here? I'm greatly
Right.
confused because here's my thing: why did Venom react to Spider Man and he never even met him? As far as the movies go, there shouldn't have been a reason for Venom to react to Spider Man the way that he did during the post credits, mid credits, whatever you want to call it, and you never ever met him. This is your first time meeting Peter Parker, Spider Man, and it's like okay,
Man, look,
I
I just
guess.
know it was it was cool, man. I mean,
It's
like you said, it was more hype than it should have been.
and I am a big Venom fan, and I would say this is like how your teenagers go watch it, how your kids go watch it. And that's
Man,
coming from a comic fan. And it's just like I personally I'm probably gonna sit through it one more time, and that's probably when they get to like DVD or one of the streaming services or something. I'm gonna sit through it one more time, and that's probably be it for me. Because I've only sat through the first one like 3 times.
I and I also feel like Tom Hardy. He is a great actor. Don't get me wrong, but besides the fact that the script was terrible, he just is not a good Eddie Brock.
He's not Eddie Brock. I don't know who he is in these movies, but that's
I
not
don't
Eddie.
know. Yeah, I don't know
I don't
who
know
he's
who
supposed to be
he could have been
playing.
fucking Flash Thompson.
Right.
That's who he act like. He could have been
Yeah,
fucking
because he
Flash.
can't be Eddie, bro. He
This ain't
can't be
Eddie. He
Eddie
can't. That's not how Eddie act.
at all, bro.
He walk around. He talk. His whole demeanor is like just like a guy that's just gave. I just gave up on life. Like he depressed
Yeah.
and he just I don't care and I'm homeless and I'm sad and it's like
Right.
the whole love story they try to
Like, how the fuck you
incorporate
got
with
a
it.
fiance nigga and you sad as fuck?
Like this ain't Eddie Brock, man. Eddie Brock from the cartoon was on go.
Yeah.
He was ready. He like
He
what?
was happy until he met Peter Parker.
He was in the he was Spider Man cost me my health, my job, everything. What? I'm gonna
That's
kill
how
him
the
when I
beef
see him.
started.
That's how it started. This dude was just like I don't care about life. I'm depressed. Like he like a goth or something, man. It's like this ain't Eddie.
I agree. I agree.
He hasn't he not one time in either movie where he portrayed something where it was like he's that badass because that's how Eddie comes off. Eddie comes off like I'm a badass, and this dude he didn't do it none. Tom Hardy didn't do it none. That's what it's like, dude. Just stop calling you. Be Flash Thompson, bro. Be
Yeah,
Flash.
man, you can tell that this was Sony's work. That's my whole thing.
I didn't like him.
Yeah,
It's one of
this
them.
was Sony's work.
It's one of them cases where it was like, oh, what was his name? Clooney. It was like he was a bad Bruce Wayne, but he was also a bad Batman type of deal. Kind of like that.
And I also have a problem with how they was doing Venom's voice. A lot of his shit was not. I could not understand what he was saying sometimes.
I honestly hate when they're talking to each other.
Who edited this man's voice
I
and
hate
who
when they.
gave the okay to let them put this in the movie? I can't barely understand what he's saying.
I don't like none of them.
Yeah, they
I
was
don't
talking.
like
They was talking too much.
They talk too much. I fell asleep like twice. I was like, I don't like it.
But one thing, people that's watching, your kids will like it.
I just want to say, your kids will love it.
Yeah, your kids
Teenagers,
will love it.
like 15, 14, 13, they love it.
It was action packed.
It's
You
a
know
great
what
way
I'm
to get
saying?
them in. It's a great way to get them incorporated with the books and the culture and the characters and stuff. They'll love it. They'll love it.
But for people like us, people
that's
who have been in
us that's been a part of this for so long and a fan of it for so long. I'm gonna be harsh. I'm gonna be harsh, and I'm gonna be harsh because I am a Venom fan. I collect Venom. I've been a Venom fan since I was a child, and I'm gonna be harsh with it, man. I have higher expectations, especially
especially
with Marvel
shit
movies,
like
man.
this.
With shit like this, I got high expectations. No, Amar, I gotta disagree with you on that. It's just as equally as trash as the Thor movies. It is not better. They are equal, and as far as being trash,
Equal.
they are equal.
That Thor
The
Ragnarok was good though. That Thor Ragnarok
Thor
was good
Ragnarok
though.
was the only one I would say was a solid 3 out of 5. The other ones was a 2 out of 5, and it's like Thor. The Thor trilogy was a paper bowl. You can throw that away after you're done eating your cereal.
Yeah.
And the Venoms were paper plates, and you can throw them away as well after you're done eating. I was like, no. Listen,
Real shit, bro.
Captain America had the best trilogy. I'm sorry. And out of all the movies, he had the best trilogy in my opinion. And that's even my opinion, that's even higher than The Dark Knight. Don't get me wrong. The Dark Knight was a good trilogy.
Trash.
It was a good trilogy. I just hated Christian Bale.
Thank you, and
You
that
know,
makes
that
it
was
trash.
that was it.
I'm sorry. This is my opinion, and I'm going to say this shit probably until the day I die. If you have a Batman movie and the Batman sucks, the movie sucks. I don't give a fuck how good the Joker was. I don't give a fuck how good the writing was. I don't give a fuck how many explosions there were in the movie. How much glass was broke. How much nothing, bro. If the Batman sucks, the movie sucks.
I could not give it a 5 out of 5 simply because of him. Joker, Jared Leto, yes. The writing, yes. The story and the build up and all that, yes. But when you give me a Bruce Wayne, there was like one scene. I believe there's literally one scene where Christian Bale acts like Bruce Wayne. No, it's 2 scenes. One scene is when they're eating, when they're at the restaurant or something, and he says, "Oh, let's put some tables together." And Dent was like, "Oh, I don't think we can do that." "Oh yeah, we can. I own the place." And that was Bruce Wayne.
That was Bruce Wayne.
Then there was the other one where he saved the old boy when he was in the Ferrari, and Gordon was like, "Wasn't you trying to stop the car?" Because he was like, "No, I was trying to make the light." That was Bruce Wayne. Everything else he did, like all through Batman Begins, nothing was Bruce Wayne.
Trash.
None of that. Trash. His voice portraying Batman, trash. His fighting portraying Batman, trash. He did this all movie. This was his block and his offense all movie. I hated it. That's all he did all movie.
Okay, go let him. This is my thing about that, Amar. This is my thing about that statement. A villain can make a movie compelling.
Listen.
But it cannot make the movie great.
Here's the thing. You can't have.
You gotta have balance.
Yes, you gotta have both. Because part of why you would fall in love with the character or the movie itself is because of the relationship between the villain and the hero.
Exactly.
Dark
Only
Knight
forearms, elbows, and headbutts.
Yeah, that's all he did. And Batman Begins, he somewhat had a relationship with Ra's al Ghul, but it was like he didn't with Scarecrow, and he was there though. He rarely had a relationship with Joker. How many scenes did him and Joker have together other than the interrogation scene and the skyscraper building? The last
He
scene?
had like 3 scenes with Joker, bro.
He had like 3 scenes with the Joker. That was it. He had 2 scenes with Bane, I think. He had Bane beat his ass, and then the rematch.
And then the rematch.
That was it. So with that is like you can't do that. That's why I tell people when I look at the trilogy as far as those movies, I'm putting Captain America higher. Mm-hmm. And I honestly, I would rather sit through Henry Cavill's Man of Steel.
And I hate Captain America. And that shit way better than that shit.
Way better. I'm not a Cap fan at all. You'll never hear me say nothing about Cap. I like Winter. I like Bucky. But you'll never really hear me say anything about Cap. But Chris Evans' Cap, he did a phenomenal job.
He did.
And Bucky came in and Winter Soldier, phenomenal job. Civil War came in. That was an Avengers movie. I don't care what nobody said. That
Yeah,
was an
that was an
Avengers
Avengers movie,
movie.
man. They made that a cat movie. Fuck that.
that
That's an
was
Avengers
that
movie,
was an
nigga.
Avenger movie, and it was awesome. Okay,
Great. It was
because you
great.
got to have the relationships with those characters in order to have that great movie. That's what
But don't get
made
me wrong.
that first wave of Marvel great.
But don't get me wrong, though. There can be movies where the villain, you know what I'm saying, come out on top, you know what I'm saying, and is the winner. Like I love movies like that. Don't get me wrong. You know what I'm saying? Mr. Brooks, Infinity War, you know what I'm saying? There are villains who win. And I love that shit.
Listen,
But you can't have a villain winning the entire movie and then lose. You know
that
what I'm
makes
saying?
it to me. That makes it trash. And to
That's
anybody
corny.
that says anybody that says no, well, that's how it has to go because the hero has to win. I will compel you as a fan of anime to go on your computer, your internet browser, and watch Dragon Ball Z Broly, the first movie, the legendary Super Saiyan movie. And for 28 minutes of that movie, Broly beat the hell out of all of them. Just for Goku to ask everybody for their power and then punch Broly one time and end the movie. The hell is this about? All right,
Trash.
trash. If that was what it took when y'all first sensed his power level and knew he was this strong, why y'all didn't do that from jump?
Right. The
Oh,
fuck?
he on that gas. Give me all y'all energy. What? Y'all should have did that. Me and my boys, we from jump, we already know what's about to go. Oh, he on that. Oh, he on that stuff. Oh yeah, hit him with them glizzards. Well, we ain't about to play.
Right, man. Fuck
We
that
not about to
shit.
let you thrash us for 25 minutes.
Man.
I'm not about to be laying face down in the dirt talking to all the homies. Jordan, can you still fight? Hey, Sin, can you still? I'm not about. No, we already estimated the fight from jump. He just thrashed these dudes for 25 minutes. Goku say, "Give me y'all energy."
But I'm
It's not
glad
enough.
but I'm glad that you understand what I mean when I say Dark Knight is trash. I don't like people think that it's because I dislike Batman, but they have it completely wrong. I have favorite Batman films. Michael Keaton is the greatest Batman in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? He had the greatest Batman. Listen, that's fine. But listen, I also be debating the fact that Batfleck had the greatest fight scene in Batman history. You know what I'm saying? And people can't really tell me different. You know what I'm saying? Because nobody can say that any Batman had a fight better than that warehouse scene, man. Not no Batman and no Batman movie had a better fight scene than that
My
warehouse scene.
Batman, in my order go Kilmer. I love Kilmer.
Who?
Val Kilmer.
Val Kilmer's number one?
I love that movie.
What?
I love that movie.
Ooh.
I loved it.
Hey, listen, that movie was entertaining, but Val Kilmer's your favorite?
I love that movie.
I did not expect that.
He portrayed what both Batman and Bruce Wayne. Go back and watch it. He portrays what I would like to see in both a Batman and a Bruce Wayne. He did a very good job at portraying both, and I love that. Right after him is Keaton. By far. Right after Keaton is Ben. And right after Ben, it was hard for me to put Clooney, but I put Clooney there and put Bale last.
Thank you, bro. A lot of people are going to be upset with this and are going to disagree, and they are going to claim that our reasonings are not good ones.
That's fine.
But if, like we said, y'all can rewind, y'all can go back throughout the clip. We gave y'all specific scenes. We gave y'all specific parts of each movie that, especially the Dark Knight movies, you know what I'm saying, that didn't make sense, did not correlate, and did not mesh together right. You know what I'm saying?
Everything,
It is what
everything.
it is.
The reason I say this is, listen, everything that Bane and Joker did in their movies made sense. Everything that they did as a villain made sense.
Of
Nothing
course.
Ra's al Ghul did made sense. None of that made sense to me. None Scarecrow did in the first movie made sense to me. But my thing with the hero villain relationships is like he didn't interact enough with his villains.
Right. He
Arnold
didn't.
Schwarzenegger and Clooney stayed at it. You know what I'm saying? I will. Look. I just take the. I'm gonna take the nipple suit over anything Bale got. I'd rather deal with the nipple suit than him. I'm Batman. I hated that guy. That
Man, that
voice.
shit was
Oh
so
my
retarded,
god, I
bro.
hated that. The
Man,
fight
get this
scene with
nigga a
Bane,
lozenge, man.
with the fight scene with Bane, with the grunting and the screaming. It's like, this is break his back already. Break his back already. Oh my
Right, man.
god.
This nigga is annoying.
This nigga's annoying as hell.
But I mean, listen. I really like. I mean,
Bale is a good
people who know
actor.
me, they know that I hate Batman. So
Bale is a good
it's
actor.
fine.
He just was not good as Batman.
Yeah, Christian Bale just wasn't a good Batman.
He just wasn't a good Batman.
I really do hope that Robert Pattinson does a way better job as Batman in his year one than Christian Bale did in his year one.
But my thing with Patterson's Batman is the issue with where people are falling with this one is they want to know what timeline is this falling in as far as his story.
I thought it was like one or two.
So
I thought
we'll
Pattinson's
see.
storyline was gonna be year one and two.
Well, I thought it was too, but apparently they're saying it's something. So it's supposed to be something different. And of
Okay, I
course,
mean that's cool.
everybody wants to know who the villain is.
Hey, listen,
Honestly, I don't need a villain. Y'all can just have dude fighting the regular thugs or just fighting the Falcones and the Carmines.
yeah,
Like you could
yeah.
have him just fighting them in the
Bro,
movie
thank you.
and
I said that. I
give me a
said
build up
this
to
nigga has
that.
stories.
You know what I'm
Like
saying? The whole
Batman
long
has
Halloween, people don't know
stories.
it. The whole long Halloween story is one of Batman's greatest stories, and that was primarily focused on the crime families of Gotham, which was the Falcones and the Carmines. They just incorporated the Joker and Poison Ivy and Two Face and all of them into the Long Halloween, but it was primarily a crime family uh storyline.
Uh huh.
He said Robert Pattinson will be the best Batman. We'll see. We'll see.
And I hope because this nigga, listen, because right now is Keaton and Batman and Ben Affleck in my opinion. I'm sorry, but this nigga Batfleck this nigga did not only as an old listen. He's playing old Bruce. Let's just keep that in mind. And we seen old Bruce train, you know what I'm saying, to fucking get his shit right to fight some powerhouses. Man, when they showed that scene with this nigga working out and creating the kryptonite grenades and the kryptonite spear, you know what I'm saying? Bro, that scene was great. That was probably one of the greatest Batman scenes I've ever seen. And
Batfleck had the
that
best look out of every Batman.
he did. He killed that role. In my opinion, he killed
He
it.
had
He
the
did a
best
little. He was a little
fight
bit too goofy.
coordination. He had the
He was a
best
little
fight
too goofy,
coordination.
but
Best
yeah,
fight coordination. And he physically looked like the best Batman.
fact.
He did an okay job as Bruce.
Okay,
And the
right.
reason I say he did an okay job is because yes, he is portraying old Bruce. So he did. I would say, he did an okay. He did a 4.5 as Bruce, and he did a 5 as Batman. Christian Bale didn't do shit. I ain't giving him a damn thing.
I'm not giving him shit.
I ain't giving him nothing.
I mean, yeah, just like those two parts that you named when he was like Bruce, those were the only times
That's
he reminded me
it.
of Bruce.
That was it. That's the only time I felt like this is how Bruce Wayne would act.
And I
And
guess
when he jumped in the little fish tank with the two girls, I guess,
that's what I'm
but
saying. And I guess when he was still before he even left to go train with the, you know what I'm saying, with the niggas and shit, when he
he
was
didn't.
acting like a little rich, depressed
Yeah,
bitch.
that was kind of like Bruce for me, but it was like, man,
Yeah, that's probably
I
my
felt
hateful
like
Batman
I felt
talking.
like Kilmer acted like Bruce Wayne the best. And that's why I think Robin Pattinson probably gonna excel at. I think he probably is gonna be the best Bruce Wayne. I think he's gonna be the opposite of Ben Affleck. He's gonna do a 5 as Bruce, and he's gonna do like a 4.5 as Batman.
Right. And he
That's how I
younger.
think.
He
And he's
younger, so
younger.
he might.
Yes.
He right. He might. You know what I'm saying? He might have learned some shit. You know what I'm saying? When it comes
I
to the
gotta.
fight.
I want to hear that voice. I want to hear the voice. I need to know how that voice sounds. And I need that. I need some gritty fights. I need some him. You know, we know how gritty Batman will break your collarbone, both your shoulders, and then ask you for information.
Right.
I need that. You know what I'm saying? So
Man, and we saw in that one in the trailer, he fucked one of them thugs up.
yeah,
Did that nigga dirty? That looked like the video game Arkham City right
I seen
there.
somebody on one of the forums. They was like, "Wouldn't it shock everybody if Robert Pattinson ain't even Bruce? What if he's Thomas?" I was like, "So we on
That's
Earth too?"
hilarious. Right, that's
I'm like, "So
hilarious.
damn, we'll be on Earth too?"
I mean, we do got a black Gordon.
Yeah. I was
Yeah.
like, hey, I mean, that'd be kind of look.
That was a
If we
nice
on,
little twist.
it'd be a nice little twist. He pull out the burners like Thomas, and he pull out the two burners.
Hey, hey, that's a good ass topic for another day, definitely.
Because you gotta think about it, Earth Two. You know, his mom, Martha, was the Joker on Earth Two. You know what I'm saying? She became the Joker.
Crazy.
So yeah, she went crazy after Bruce died, and yeah, that'd be awesome. It'll be a nice little twist, but we'll see. We'll see. What we getting first? Are we getting Batman first or Spider Man first?
Spider Man.
Spider Man
Wait,
first, right?
yeah, Spider Man come out first and then Batman.
Okay. But what's the next big movie before that? Ain't it Eternals? And we getting Eternals
Yeah, the
before both of
Eternals
them?
come out at the end, no, the beginning of next month.
Okay. So we getting Eternals first. So we're gonna check that out. Give out, some ratings and some reviews. But as far as Venom goes, ladies and gentlemen, on a scale of 1 to 5, I gave Venom a 2.5. Uh that's my overall rating for the movie. Uh I just can't seem to recommend it to it. As far as recommended reads, we're on that subject of Batman. I am going to recommend to you guys I Am Batman, Future State, and Gotham, Future State. Reason I'm going to recommend both of those is because they tie into each other. With Future State, they're at a point in Gotham or just in the Future State DC universe where they don't want vigilantes anymore, like at all. They're tired of them. They don't want them anymore. They just want everybody to go into like, they don't even want them to go into hiding. They just want them to go away forever completely. And of course the vigilantes aren't. And now you got Jason Todd, who was formerly known as the Red Hood, who is now called Peacekeeper Red. And he's a bounty hunter that's hunting all of the mass vigilantes of Gotham. And he's also hunting the villains of Gotham. So
That nigga always always in some shit.
it is, and the storyline for him actually really fits. I'm not going to spoil too much for y'all with the I Am Batman, but just know that Lucius Fox's son, Jace Fox, is Batman, and awesome. I recommend both of those. This whole Future State thing, I'm really enjoying Future State, Swamp Thing as well. But right now, those are the only three I'm reading: is Gotham, I Am Batman, and Swamp Thing. I'm hearing good things about the Harley Quinn, but I'm just not. I will read Harley Quinn. It has to be if it was a different writer, I would be picking it up. But I just can't bring myself to pick that up, not knowing any background on the writer, and then looking at the books on the surface. I'm not. The covers aren't grabbing me enough to be like, "Ooh, Harley Quinn, let me pick this up." And I don't like. I love her as a character, but not that much. So
Yeah, I fuck with Harley Quinn. She's one of my favorite characters. I have to respond to Amara, man. I'm sorry. I think that Eternals is really about to get a lot of motherfuckers quiet. Because I've been hearing that Eternals look shitty really since the first trailer dropped, and
Um,
honestly, I feel like it's not going to be what people expect it to be. I think that they are going to focus on Icarus like they're supposed to. I feel like they are going to also add a little bit of Sprite's dilemma. You know what I'm saying? Because Sprite, you know, that's a long story. I'm not even about to get into that. But I feel like the action is going to be great. I feel like it's going to give a lot of insight on the origin or the beginning of the Marvel universe. You know what I'm saying? And a little insight on Thanos and his bloodline. And I feel like it's going to be a big picture for like the phase of this, this phase of Marvel for real.
for me, I think
It might not be
Eternals.
great,
I agree
but
with them. As far as me looking at the first trailer, it looks ass. But I believe it's a necessary, needed. That's just a trailer, So
yeah, exactly.
but
And
I
we know
think it's gonna be
Angelina Jolie.
good as far as like setting up whatever new. I think this movie is gonna give some type of direction or hint to what they're setting up for this whole phase. I mean, Thanos was all of what the first phase, and this is now this one, so we'll see what that sets up.
Thanos
Um,
gonna come back.
that's what I'm thinking, or I'm just really figuring that we either gonna wind up at some point we're gonna see Namor or Doctor Doom is who I'm really looking for to join the MCU.
Definitely.
Um, if
Have
you
to.
if you want to give me somebody to outshine Thanos, Doom would be the next best bet.
But they gotta do him right.
But they got
He
to do him correctly.
yeah, they gotta do him right.
If you're gonna outshine Thanos in the Infinity Gauntlet, then Doom will have to be your next bet. As far as causing that much trouble for the entire universe, it will have to be Doom.
Yeah. We was
Um,
yeah, me and my friend was just talking about on the post that he made in the Completist group on Facebook. We was dropping scans of our favorite characters, our favorite villains, and our favorite anti-heroes, and our favorite feats from them. And of course, my favorite villain was Doom in the MCU, besides Thanos, of course. But I just chose Doom right then and there when he had took the Life Force. You know what I'm saying? And then he had posted a scan of Doom fighting all of the Celestials and then killing them all by himself.
Doom is Marvel's number one villain, easily, easily the number one villain,
Like, listen,
easily.
Thanos is a diabolical motherfucker, but I mean, when it comes to feats and comes to accomplishments, man, Doom is up
Listen,
there.
listen. I'm gonna go back Golden Age real quick. I was doing all my research, looking at stuff and pricing out books. And there's a Justice Society of America book, Golden Age, from the 40s, where if people that don't know, the Justice Society had the
Yeah,
Spectre, Doctor
yeah.
Fate, Green Lantern, Alan Scott, Jay Garrick, Flash. They were the Justice Society, and there was
Power
two books
Rangers.
that grabbed my attention with their villains, and the first one was the Dastardly Deeds of the Mailman, and it was just a regular postal service and a regular mail truck throwing stamps at the Justice Society. And then there was another one where it said the terror of the window washer. And it was just a dude on a skyscraper washing windows, and it was just like this. That's golden age for you. Um, recommended read is Robin. I have not read Robin. I'm not reading Robin. My DC recommendations would be I Am Batman, Swamp Thing, Gotham, Static, Icon, and Rocket will be my five DC recommendations. My Marvel recommendations will be Moon Knight number one, Dark Ages number two, Hulk number three, Venom number four, and Thor number five.
Y'all also need to get on that Books of Magic. Cause
Right
it's
now,
already on its like 5th volume.
I'm
Like,
only reading Spawn from Image right now. So the Completist will handle all independent comics for the moment. Like I said, I haven't
book
jumped on none of them. I plan on reading
Books of
Something That's
Magic
Killing the
is
Children.
DC.
Yeah, that's DC. Yeah, Books of Magic was DC. That's part of the Sandman universe. If y'all didn't know,
Yeah.
Sandman, Deep Books of Magic, Lucifer, that's all in that universe.
I also have to bring that up. I'm sorry. They're about to drop the Sandman on Netflix in a month. I forgot to even mention that shit.
Sandman Black Label, check it out. Swamp Thing got a new Black Label coming out.
And they have it on
Batman has a new
audiobooks.
Batman coming out.
And they have the whole Sandman archives on audiobooks, and you can listen to his entire story right now.
Sandman's universe is a nice little universe because you get some of Justice League Dark, you get some Constantine, some Lucifer. Sandman's universe is nice.
It's
It's
expansive.
nice.
It's really more structured and
And he ain't no
organized.
joke. Like as
Right.
far as his universe, when you
Right.
really think about it, his universe was the only one not affected by the Infinity Crisis or Flashpoint.
Right.
Yeah, think about that. You know,
And what I'm
certain
saying
people don't
about
fuck with his universe. Antimatter didn't fuck with it. Superboy Prime didn't fuck with it. Brainiac ain't fuck with it. Darkseid ain't fuck
his
with it.
universe is way more structured and way more organized than the regular DC universe.
So
Like, it's 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 just better. You know what I'm saying?
it's just
I
better.
don't know how that happened, but it is what it is. It's great. Go check that out, man. But do you have any more recommendations, brother?
No, sir.
I don't either, but it's been great, man. We definitely out of time. I got some things I got to take care of. Got to get ready for work tomorrow. But thank you for helping me and being a part of the show with me, brother.
All the
I
time.
definitely appreciate it, man. And thank y'all for attending and being a part of the show as well. Thank you. Love yourself. Love your family. And remember to don't stress yourself about shit you can't control, man. For real, it's a waste of time. But love y'all, man. Peace. Be good. Be safe.
Y'all have a good one.